Master of Chaos, a cooking lesson, and a picnic. All right, Cole, I said I'd teach you how to cook, and it's time to make good on that promise, Irene declared from the doorway of Cole's room. And then a picnic after, because I promised you that, Cole said, standing up. What are we cooking? Irene grinned. So, I called my mom, and I called my aunt, and we're going to make corn casserole and triple chocolate cake, she announced. So we got to go shopping for the ingredients, then we'll get to work. They sent over the recipes. Ah, yes, your aunt's cake. I remember the first time I tasted some. It was so good, Cole recalled. This is going to be fun. Irene grabbed his hand. Come on, let's go, she said, excited. Cole laughed, allowing her to drag him out to the garage. They drove out to the city. What do we need? Cole asked. Irene checked the list. We have most of the ingredients needed for the casserole. The only thing we're missing for that is cream cheese and corn. As for the cake, we need flour, sugar, and the 3 kinds of chocolate, she said. What kinds of chocolate? Cole asked. Milk chocolate, dark chocolate, and white chocolate. Everything else we've got back at the monastery, she replied. Come on, I'll need you to reach the high shelves. Cole snickered, and they went into the store. They grabbed a shopping cart and started looking for the items on their list. They found the corn in the canned goods section easily enough, then got the flour and sugar. Cole looked at the empty aisle in front of him and got an idea. It was a terrible idea, one that Kai would most certainly come up with, but it would be fun. Irene noticed the grin forming on his face. Oh no, what are you thinking? She said. Something that could be very stupid or very fun, he replied. He patted the cart. Hop in. Irene's grin matched his. She climbed into the cart, grabbing the sides. Cole pushed off, and the cart flew down the aisle as the two of them giggled like children. When they reached the end, Irene climbed out and they continued shopping, still laughing. That was fun, Irene said. And also stupid. Let's never tell anyone about this, Cole said. Once they found all the ingredients they needed, they headed back to the monastery and got set up. Irene tossed an apron at Cole and grabbed one for herself. Okay, let's get started, Irene said. She guided him through prepping the ingredients and putting them together. Is this supposed to look like sludge? Cole asked. Irene looked at it. Yes. At this point, it's supposed to look like sludge. That's literally what my mom wrote in the recipe, she said, pointing it out to him. Sure enough, there it was. At this point, it should look like sludge. What do you know? It's really there, Cole said, surprised. Now put the sludge in the crock pot and I'll preheat the oven for the cake, she said. Now keep in mind that when baking a cake, everything has to be precise. Can't add anything before it's time, gotta have exact amounts of everything. You have to bake it long enough, but not too long. Cooking is a bit more flexible. She grabbed a pot and turned on the stove to melt the chocolate together. Grab the mixing bowl, please, babe, she said. Cole did so, then looked at the recipe. Okay, I think I can do this, he said. He measured the flour and the sugar and dumped it into the mixing bowl. Here, swap places with me, Irene said. Cole took the stove. What do I do here? He asked. Stir the chocolate. Don't let it burn or harden, she replied. She cracked 3 eggs into the bowl. How long do I have to keep stirring? Cole asked. Can you feel lumps in the chocolate? Irene asked. Yeah, a few, he answered. Keep stirring until it's completely smooth, she said. Cole waited until her back was turned, then sneakily dipped a finger in the chocolate. He then licked the chocolate off his finger. Go wash your hands, Irene said without turning around. And keep your hands out of the chocolate or else we won't have enough for the cake. How'd you know? Cole asked, going to wash his hands in the kitchen sink. I always know when someone is sneaking a taste, Irene said, going to stir the chocolate before it hardened. All right, come here, she called. Cole came and looked over her shoulder. See how the chocolate is all smooth and melty? It's ready to be added to the mixing bowl, and we stir it all together, she said. She turned the stove off and poured the chocolate into the batter. Here you go. Mix it until it's smooth with no lumps, she said, handing Cole the whisk. He started to mix the batter. Irene checked on the corn casserole. It's done. It just has to be kept warm, she said, turning the heat down. I'm going to make some sandwiches in case the food doesn't quite turn out the way we want it. She grabbed some sandwich ingredients. Jay walked into the kitchen and froze, seeing Cole in an apron and mixing cake batter. He backed out of the kitchen and returned a minute later with a fire extinguisher. Jay, what are you doing? Cole demanded. Preventing a culinary disaster, Jay quipped. Jay, Cole's doing fine under my supervision. If you feel like helping out, put down the fire extinguisher and come taste the corn casserole, Irene said. Jay nervously came forward. This won't poison me, will it? He asked as Irene handed him some. Only one way to find out, she said, grinning. He tasted it, keeping a blank expression on his face. Well, how's it taste? Cole asked. What do you think? Jay replied. He whispered something in Irene's ear and left. What'd he tell you? Cole asked, looking panicked. Irene snickered. He said that he wants to mess with you by not saying one way or another how it tasted. He did tell me what he thought, but asked me not to tell you until later, she said. How's the batter looking? Smooth and not lumpy, he replied. Perfect. It's ready to go in the pan and we can put it in the oven, she said. She grabbed the pan and set it on the counter. She stuck a finger in the batter and tasted it. Hey, you told me not to do that, Cole complained. He started to stick his finger in the cake mix, but Irene swatted his hand. You already snuck a taste of the chocolate. It was my turn, she teased. Now pour the edible mud in the pan. Edible mud? Really? He said. Hey, it does look like mud, she pointed out. Now let's put this in the oven, set a timer, and make the icing. They set the cake in the oven and set the timer. Then they set to work making the icing and cleaning up. Cole finished making the sandwiches while Irene worked on the icing. What color do you think it should be, Cole? She asked. Let's do orange, he said. Orange? Of all the icing colors for a chocolate cake, you choose orange? Irene demanded. What? I like the color orange. Please, love, he begged. Irene sighed, smiling at him. Okay, you win. We'll make it orange, she agreed. She added the food coloring to the icing, turning it a bright orange. Let's clean up, and when the timer goes off, we can take the cake out to cool. They washed the dishes and put away the ingredients, and the timer went off. Irene carefully removed the cake from the oven. This has to cool first, or the icing will melt right off, Irene warned, putting the cake on a cooling rack. Right. Oh, it's bugging me. What did Jay say about the corn casserole? Cole asked. Irene just started laughing. I can't tell you, not yet. Please, Cole begged. Nope, you'll just have to taste it for yourself. Oh, wait, you have an iron stomach and you're not a very good judge of taste, she teased. Then you taste it, sweetie, and tell me what a great cook I am, he replied. No way. I'm going to wait, she declared. Well, maybe a little taste test. She lifted the lid on the crock pot as Cole watched expectantly. She tasted it. She started gagging, making a disgusted face. I knew it, it's awful, Cole panicked. Irene started to laugh. I was kidding. It's a joke. The casserole is delicious, she said. Jay said it was good and to leave some for dinner. You little troll, you really had me worried, Cole said, giving her a light shove. I thought I'd poisoned you. But you didn't. Come on, the cake is ready for the frosting, she said, handing him a spatula. They spread the frosting onto the cake, and Cole put some on Irene's nose. Hey, she protested, lightly smacking his forehead with her spatula, leaving a smear of orange on his forehead. Oh, I'm going to get you for that, he called, chasing Irene around the kitchen. She laughed, staying out of his reach. He finally caught her, making her squeal. Okay, let's finish up, she said, giggling. They finished frosting the cake, and Cole licked the leftover icing off the spatula. Yum. Irene used a napkin to wipe the icing off her nose and Cole's forehead. Let's get this packed up for our picnic, she said. They packed up some of the corn casserole and left a note for the others saying they could eat it, then packed up the sandwiches and the cake. Where will we go? Irene asked. To the park, like last time, Cole suggested. Irene smiled. Yeah, I remember the last time, she said. But this time, Kai and Jay won't leap out of the bushes to take our picture, Cole said, and they both laughed. They went to the park and set up their little picnic. The last time we were here, it was night, Irene recalled. And Kai and Jay scared the life out of us and took our picture, Cole added. Yeah, not today. I know, but it was pretty memorable. I still have the picture framed on my nightstand, Irene said, smiling. Well, it was the goal to make it memorable. Mission accomplished, Cole remarked, getting the cake out. Now let's see how this tastes. He cut a couple of slices and handed one to Irene. He took a bite. Whoa, tastes just like your aunt's cake, he remarked. Maybe because it's her recipe, Irene sassed. She giggled as Cole lightly bumped her knee. But really, you did very well making this, she said. You helped a lot, Cole pointed out. That is true. And you still have a long way to go before I will ever trust you by yourself in the kitchen. But this was a very good start, she told him, kissing his forehead. Cole set the cake aside and brushed Irene's hair out of her eyes. You are so perfect, he said. I have no response to that, snarky or otherwise, Irene said. Cole snickered. Your snarky responses are one of the best things about you, he said. Irene leaned against his shoulder. You know what my favorite things about you are? She asked softly. What? Cole asked, playing with her hair. You're strong and dependable and compassionate. You're always taking care of others. Just don't forget to take care of yourself sometimes, okay? She said. How could I forget when you keep reminding me? He replied. You take care of me. That's true. I do take care of you. I helped you get over your fear of dragons so long ago. I helped you get over your fear of singing, and when you fell into the darkness, I jumped after you and protected you with a force field. When you went to go search for the Traveler's Tree, I went with you. And I always have your back. Ever since we first met, she said, reaching up and tucking some hair behind his ear. Can I kiss you? She asked. Cole quickly glanced around. Gotta make sure those jokers aren't hiding in the bushes, he said. He then turned to Irene. I'd like that kiss now. She smiled and kissed him. I love you, Cole. I love you too, Irie. I love you too.